Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the breakfast news on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. India reacts strongly to Pakistan wading into the JNU controversy, says the issue an internal matter of India and Pakistan's comments are unacceptable. Supreme Court calls violence at Patiala House Courts extraordinary to bail plea of JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar. Congress Vice President and Delhi Chief Minister meet President over the issue. After months of strained ties, Nepal's Prime Minister KP Oli is to arrive in India on a 6-day visit. Both sides optimistic of taking ties to new heights. India urges peaceful resolution of South China Sea dispute in accordance with international law. Statement in the wake of China deploying missile launchers on disputed islands. And US President Barack Obama signs fresh sanctions on North Korea into law. Sanctions allow for freeze of assets of anyone doing business for North Korea's weapons program. Well, let's begin with our top focus on the bulletin this morning. India has strongly objected to Pakistan wading into the JNU row that was triggered by an event in support of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru. India has stressed that Kashmir is an internal and integral part of India. Here's more.
Regarding Jawaharlal Nehru University, as you are aware that Kashmiris have never accepted the unfair trial to execute Afzal Guru. And human rights organizations have also condemned the manner in which Afzal Guru was executed.
Pakistan wading into the row that's erupted over the JNU event. Islamabad also saying it has adequately and appropriately raised the Kashmir dispute at all the international forums. India hitting back at Pakistan for its statement.
Pakistan's gratuitous references to Jammu and Kashmir are unacceptable.
Pakistan's comments coming at a time when the protests at JNU have deeply divided opinion in the country. Meanwhile, security agencies have approached Twitter India to block all accounts having links with Lashkar-e-Toiba founder Hafiz Saeed and Jamaat-ud-Dawa, which are often found to be spreading venom against India. A fake account of Hafiz Saeed had recently asked Pakistanis to support the JNU students who are protesting against the registration of a case of sedition against Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar. It had also asked users to trend the topic Pakistan with JNU, with the post sparking a huge controversy. Last Sunday, Home Minister Rajnath Singh had said the event organized at JNU to protest against the hanging of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru had the backing of Hafiz Saeed. Even though the Home Ministry clarified that Singh's statement was based on inputs from different agencies, it was reportedly made in the wake of the posts on the fake Saeed Twitter account. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the JNU row, especially the violence at the Patiala House Court complex, continued to grab national attention as political parties, including the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, met the President Pranab Mukherjee on Thursday. Both leaders sought immediate intervention by the President in checking lawlessness in the city and the subversion of democratic rights in the country. Here's more.
In view of the mob attack on media persons, students and teachers of the Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi met President Pranab Mukherjee on Thursday. The Delhi Chief Minister was accompanied by his cabinet colleagues. In the brief meeting with the President, Kejriwal raised the issue of worsening law and order situation in the national capital. He also blamed the centre for its inaction.
अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश सुप्रीम कोर्ट के 200 मीटर के अंदर लागू होने बंद हो गए तो इस देश के अंदर कोई संविधान नहीं बचेगा. फिर तो केंद्र सरकार की और प्रधानमंत्री जी की डिक्टेटरशिप है, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. There is no judiciary after that. This is something very serious.
Earlier in the day, Congress Kayan Rahul Gandhi also called on the President to share his concerns on the same issue. He submitted a memorandum to President Mukherjee in which he described the JNU incident as a blot on the country's image. Speaking to the media soon after, Rahul accused the centre of trying to suppress voices of dissent in the country.
जो हिंदुस्तान के युवा हैं उनके अंदर ऊर्जा है, अलग अलग सोच है, अलग अलग सेंटिमेंट्स हैं, उनको एक विचारधारा से दबाने हम आरएसएस को नहीं दबाने देंगे। आरएसएस पूरे देश के स्टूडेंट्स के ऊपर एक सोच थोपना चाहती है।
Rahul also replied to the allegations made against him. He said any anti-national person or organization must be dealt with within the framework of the law of the land, but that does not mean one ideology could be imposed on everyone.
देश प्रेम मेरे खून में है, मेरे दिल में है। मेरे पास इसको छोड़ के कुछ नहीं है। अगर किसी ने देश के खिलाफ कुछ किया, कहा, तो सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
Rahul also referred to the suicide by Dalit scholar Rohit Vemula at the Hyderabad Central University last month and accused the government of forcing him to take his life. His party has decided to raise both the JNU row as well as the Rohit Vemula suicide case in the upcoming budget session of Parliament. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Related news now, JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar's bail plea will be heard in the Supreme Court today. With the row escalating, scenes of protest spread further across the country, with students and teachers from Bengaluru, Jaipur, Kolkata and Chennai joining in the protests. Meanwhile, the Delhi police has registered 2 fresh cases against unknown persons in relation with Wednesday's attack in the Patiala House Court. Here's a detailed report.
JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar's bail plea will be heard in the Supreme Court today. Kumar was arrested on sedition charges on the 13th of February. In his petition, Kumar said there was no need for his custodial interrogation as he has already been sent to judicial custody. The Students' Union President also submitted that there was a threat to his life and asked the Apex Court to intervene to safeguard his life. Meanwhile, students of the Jawaharlal Nehru University held a protest march in the national capital demanding Kanhaiya Kumar's immediate release and dropping of the sedition charges against him.
डिमांड एकदम स्पष्ट है कि पहली बात तो कॉमरेड कन्हैया को रिलीज किया जाए। जिन भी छात्रों पर सेडिशन के चार्जेस लगे हैं, सब छात्रों से सेडिशन के चार्जेस वापस लिए जाए। और जेएनयू का जो टारगेटिंग चल रहा है, जो बदनामी जिस तरह से चल रही है, जिस तरह से ब्रांड करने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि राष्ट्र विरोधी है या एंटी नेशनल है, उसको जो है खत्म किया जाए।
Scenes of protest spread further across the country, with students and teachers from cities including Bengaluru, Jaipur, Kolkata and Chennai joining in the protests. The Jadavpur University saw not only protests by a students' group, but also clashes between 2 students' organizations. In Chennai, the police arrested 40 students for participating in a similar movement. Meanwhile, the 6-member committee of senior lawyers, which rushed to the Patiala House courts to report on Wednesday's violence, submitted its report to the Supreme Court with one of its members alleging collusion between police and the attackers. The Delhi police, which has been under attack for the alleged inaction during violence, also registered 2 fresh cases against unknown people who carried out the attacks on Wednesday. However, despite video evidence, no action has been taken against lawyer Vikram Chauhan, identified as one of the perpetrators in Monday's attack as well. But the Bar Council of India has decided to crack the whip on the group of lawyers who indulged in violence at the Patiala House Court complex, saying their licenses would be suspended for life if they are found guilty.
देश के लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी के बिहाफ पे मीडिया पीपल से, पत्रकारों से इसके लिए माफ़ी मांगता हूं। ये मैं खेद प्रकट करता हूं। बार काउंसिल ने जो 15 तारीख को घटना हुई, उसके लिए बार काउंसिल ने पहले ही एक फॉर्मर हाई कोर्ट जज के नेतृत्व में, उनके चेयरमैनशिप में एक कमेटी बना दी थी। उसका जांच उनको करना है। हमने कल फिर जब दोबारा घटना हुई तो हमने एक रिक्वेस्ट किया है कमेटी को टू सबमिट इट्स रिपोर्ट विद इन ए पीरियड ऑफ 3 weeks.
BJP MLA OP Sharma, who was caught on camera beating a CPI activist at the Patiala House Court, was arrested on Thursday and later released on bail. He was questioned for more than 8 hours by the police.
इस देश में पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, हिंदुस्तान मुर्दाबाद कहने वालों को रोकने का जो दुस्साहस करेगा, उसको अगर ये कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी तो ये बहुत ही शर्म का विषय है।
Meanwhile, former DU lecturer SAR Gilani, who is also facing a sedition charge, was remanded to judicial custody till the 3rd of March. With tension mounting up in the JNU row, a Congress delegation led by party's Vice President Rahul Gandhi and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal met the president yesterday. The leaders from the left parties are also likely to call on the president today. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, Pakistan has called for fixing of an early date for the Indo-Pak Foreign Secretary level talks that has been postponed following the Pathankot terror attack. India didn't go ahead with the Foreign Secretary level talks scheduled for January 15th in New Delhi following the Pathankot terror attack. India blames Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed for the January 2nd attack in which 7 security personnel were killed. Pakistan has also welcomed a statement by India's newly appointed High Commissioner to Islamabad saying the resumption of talks between India and Pakistan was not linked with the progress of investigation into the Pathankot airbase attack.
We have noted the policy statement made by Indian High Commissioner, not linking Foreign Secretary level talks to the Pathankot incident. And the dates of the Foreign Secretary level talks, in view of this statement, basically policy statement, in our view, the dates of the Foreign Secretary level talks should now be decided as early as possible.
In related news, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has hit out at Pakistan for dismissing evidence given by India on the Pathankot attack. Speaking to private English television channel India Today TV, Parrikar said that Pakistan is pretending to sleep and is not being serious about the probe. The minister also ruled out allowing the Pakistani Special Investigation Team into the Pathankot airbase. He said that the Indian government has been continuously giving evidence relating to so many attacks in Pakistan. He also said that if someone is serious, they can definitely act. Well, the BJP has expressed optimism over government formation in Jammu and Kashmir. This comes after BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav held one-on-one talks with People's Democratic Party President Mehbooba Mufti. The BJP has shown willingness to accept PDP's demand for time-bound implementation of certain elements of the Common Minimum Programme, while saying that both sides are positive on continuing the alliance. The BJP has also maintained that the coalition will work on the basis of agenda of alliance firmed up between the two parties last year and asserted that there will be no dilution or any new addition in it.
It appears that the agenda of alliance is where it is, and New Delhi or BJP has not done anything.
Well, in other news now, amid rising tensions in the South China Sea, India has urged for a peaceful resolution of the crisis which is in accordance with the international law. Speaking at the 8th edition of the Delhi Dialogue event, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj said that the resource-rich region is pathways to prosperity and that the security of the sea routes in the Asia-Pacific is essential for India's economy as a majority of its global trade flows across the Straits of Malacca and beyond. She further added that development of a blue economy and optimum utilization of marine resources can only take place within the ambit of internationally recognized rules and norms. India has consistently been maintaining that all states should avoid unilateral actions in South China Sea that can lead to tensions in the region. Sushma Swaraj's statement comes in the wake of China deploying surface-to-air missile launchers on a disputed island in the South China Sea, dramatically upping the stakes in a territorial dispute that involves the US and its regional allies.
The oceans and seas, including the South China Sea, are pathways to our prosperity and security. The security of sea routes in the Asia-Pacific is essential for India's economy as a majority of our global trade flows across the Straits of Malacca and beyond.
Well, the CPIM is all set to enter into an alliance with the Congress in West Bengal. The two-day Central Committee meeting in Delhi took a decision on this. Now, the CPM Politburo will take a final call on the matter later.
Short of naming the Congress, CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri on Thursday announced that the party is seeking an electoral understanding with other like-minded democratic parties in West Bengal. Party leaders say they are ready to seek cooperation from other parties in order to defeat the Mamata Banerjee government. And in this regard, Yechuri is believed to have convinced the Central Committee of the party to go with the Congress.
The CPM will seek the support of all democratic forces in Bengal. And on the basis of that support of all the democratic forces in Bengal, the objective would be to defeat the Trinamool Congress and remove them from the government, to isolate the BJP, and to defeat the machinations, the communal machinations that are there between the two of them. And then on that basis, the actual participation in the elections will be decided.
Not only Bengal, but the party is in direct confrontation with the Congress in Kerala as well. With both states going to polls at the same time, a prominent section seems to have strongly opposed a prospective alliance with the Congress.
We discussed that issue, and it's on the basis of that discussion that we come to this conclusion. So the obvious answer to your question is that having considered that aspect, after that we've come to this conclusion.
The CPM Central Committee has empowered the Politburo to take the final decision on the electoral pact with the Congress, but it is believed that it will be a formality now. This is Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For many of those problems, there are scientific and technological solutions, right? And for good technological solutions to emerge, it has to be backed by a good science. But if we don't increase our budget on science, we are actually jeopardizing our future. For increasing the funding of science to at least about 10 times than what we have right now.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Shekhar Mande, Director, NCCS, only on Rajya Sabha TV. Down the ages, jewelry has been the pride of the Indian culture. In the Harappan period, it attained perfection in flattened gold bands. From the Mauryan period came the exquisite gold brooches. Many ornaments were an extension of religious practices, like the Gauri Shankaram Rudraksh necklace worn by the temple priest. Rings with lids preserved the taweez that held secret messages and sometimes even poison.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, the Supreme Court has paved the way for government formation in Arunachal Pradesh. The top court vacated its status quo order on maintaining president's rule in the state. The Supreme Court's go-ahead came after it examined judicial and assembly records on disqualification of 14 rebel Congress MLAs by former Speaker Nabam Rebia. After looking at the records, the 5-judge constitution bench headed by Justice J.S. Kehar said it was prima facie satisfied with the High Court order. The apex court had earlier questioned Governor J.P. Rajkowa's use of his constitutional discretion to advance the 6th session of the Arunachal Pradesh Assembly by over a month, asking whether it was backed by sound constitutional principles. The Union Cabinet had on 17 February recommended revocation of President's rule in Arunachal Pradesh. The Supreme Court order comes as a blow to the Congress, which had made a strong plea to President Pranab Mukherjee against revoking of President's rule in the state.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज जो एफिडेविट था उसको देखने के बाद यथास्थिति का जो आदेश था उसको निरस्त किया है, उसको वापस लिया है और जो उनकी याचिका थी इस संबंध में कांग्रेस वालों की, उस याचिका को भी उन्होंने यहां से वापस भेजकर गुवाहाटी हाई कोर्ट भेज दिया है। इसलिए यथास्थिति आज निरस्त होने के बाद नई सरकार के गठन की प्रक्रिया पुनः प्रारंभ हो जाएगी।
Well, on to our special series on the expectations from the union budget now. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is pushing the Finance Ministry to increase the ministry's allocation to achieve the target of 30 kilometers of road per day. In the upcoming budget, the ministry has asked to raise allocations by 15,000 to 20,000 crore rupees. Here's a report.
Rural roads will be a key thrust area for the Modi government infrastructure push. Aiming to boost job growth, the government wants to give it the highest priority in Budget 2016-17. The Transport Ministry has asked for a higher financial allocation in the upcoming Union Budget.
First of all, I will give my plan. My budget is 45,000 crores. Probably for this budget, probably it may be increased by 15,000 to 20,000 crores, I am expecting.
The government claims it's laying 18 kilometers of roads per day. It aims to take it up to 30 kilometers, for which it needs additional allocation. Last year's budget allotted 42,913 crore to roads and highways, which could go up to 57,913 crores if Gadkari's proposal is accepted. But experts doubt if additional funds will help achieve targets. For one, the National Highway Authority of India, that will play a key role in helping the government, has no less than 112 legal disputes with infrastructure companies valued at over 25,000 crore rupees.
The projects which are stalled, they required funds infusion. So that fund which will be earmarked extra will go to the stalled projects. Number two, the number of projects to be awarded this year are more than the previous year. As per the planning, it will be around 7,000 plus kilometers which have to be awarded, for which the expenditure has to be more. Besides that, completing the previous project will be also a challenge, for which more funds are required.
The ministry has also requested for 250 crore for cashless insurance for road accident victims. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on, now Nepal Prime Minister KP Oli will be arriving in India on a 6-day visit. Ahead of the visit, Oli said that he has no specific agenda for the talks as the visit is taking place in complex and special circumstances. He, however, also added that his aim is to build trust. India too has said that it hopes to take bilateral ties to new heights with this visit.
Nepal Prime Minister KP Oli's maiden foreign visit after assuming power. His 6-day India visit comes in the backdrop of normalization of ties following months of agitation by Madheshi community over the new constitution in Nepal. The issue will be among the several key issues taken up during his talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
During the visit, we expect discussions on all issues of mutual interest, bilateral cooperation, particularly in the key areas of energy, connectivity, and people-to-people linkages will form the main focus of the visit.
Ahead of the visit, Oli said that the focus will be on building trust. He said, and I quote, "Our country will definitely benefit from my visit to India beginning from Friday, and we won't lose from the visit. To gain friendship is also a gain, and we will get much more than that." The visit is taking place in complex and special circumstances. The main focus of the visit will be to create favorable situation and to build trust. Oli's official engagements will begin on February 20th with a ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. On the same day, he will meet Prime Minister Modi. 2 MOUs, one on the $1 billion line of credit that India has already committed to Nepal, and another $1 billion that India has pledged for post-earthquake reconstruction are expected to be signed. Oli will call on President Pranab Mukherjee and Vice President Hamid Ansari. He will also meet Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley and Rajnath Singh. Oli will visit Dehradun on Sunday to inspect the Tehri Hydel Power project and will return in the evening. On Monday, he will address the Indian Council for World Affairs and attend a business meeting. He will leave for Bhuj in Gujarat on Tuesday to have a first-hand experience of earthquake reconstruction work. The same day, he will leave for Mumbai to meet Maharashtra Governor. Oli will leave for Nepal from Mumbai on February 24th.
On the 22nd, the Prime Minister of Nepal will leave for Bhuj in Gujarat. He'll be meeting the Gujarat government officials. He'll visit the relocation site. Basically, this is to understand how we did earthquake reconstruction after the Bhuj earthquake.
The Nepalese Prime Minister will be accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising Nepal's Deputy Prime Minister Kamal Thapa, Finance Minister Bishnu Prasad Paudel, and Home Minister Shakti Bahadur Basnet, among others. The Chief Executive of the National Reconstruction Authority of Nepal and 13 MPs from various political parties will also accompany him. It will be the first bilateral visit by a Nepalese Prime Minister to India after the trip by then Premier Baburam Bhattarai in October 2011. Oli's predecessor Sushil Koirala had attended Modi's swearing-in ceremony in May 2014. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a look now at some news and events lined up for the day in our segment, The Day Ahead. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will embark on a 2-day-long visit to his parliamentary constituency Amethi today. There, Gandhi is scheduled to hold a meeting with the party office bearers and activists. He will also interact with people of Salon Assembly segment in Raebareli district. Tomorrow, he will meet the general public. The Gujarat BJP will elect its new state president today. The announcement will be made in the presence of dignitaries including Gujarat Chief Minister Anandiben Patel, State BJP in charge Dinesh Sharma and party incumbent State President R.C. Faldu. State Transport Minister Vijay Rupani is likely to get the post. Pushed into a tight corner by the recommended sweeping reforms to its structure by the Supreme Court appointed Justice Lodha Committee, members of the BCCI will meet in Mumbai today at a special general meeting to discuss the report's implementation. The SGM is to be preceded by the Working Committee meeting of the BCCI for ratifying the decision by its subcommittees taken after its previous sitting. Some international news now. US President Barack Obama has signed fresh sanctions on North Korea into law. Early this month, the US Congress overwhelmingly passed the bill. South Korea's spy agency said Pyongyang is planning a terror attack on them. Here's more.
The US has imposed expanded sanctions on North Korea weeks after Pyongyang fired a test missile. The North Korea sanctions bill was passed by an overwhelming majority by the US Congress days before. Now it has been signed into a law by Obama. Fresh sanctions allow the US to freeze assets of anyone doing business related to North Korea's nuclear or weapons programs or is involved in human rights abuses in the country. The bill also allows for $50 million to support humanitarian programs and transmit radio broadcasts into North Korea. The US and China are negotiating over a UN Security Council resolution on new sanctions against Pyongyang. Tough multilateral measures have been held up at the UN Security Council over dissent between China and other nations. China expressed concerns that some of the measures could cripple North Korean economy. South Korea's National Intelligence Service meanwhile warned Pyongyang is planning a terror attack on Seoul. Seoul also reaffirmed allegations that 70% of factory workers' wages in Kaesong factory were diverted for Pyongyang's weapons programs, as it defended a plan to deploy US missile defense system on the Korean peninsula.
이번에 주한 미군의 사드 배치 가능성에 대한 공식 발표는 어디까지나 점증하는 현실로 다가오고 있는 북한의 핵과 미사일 위협에 대응하기 위한 그런 방어적 차원의 것이다. 더 다른 나라를 염두에 둔 것이 아니다. 이런 얘기를.
Earlier this month, North Korea had launched what it called an Earth observation satellite, which according to others was a missile test. Recent reports by the US officials suggest North Korea's satellite is once again tumbling in the orbit after stabilizing briefly. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a good day.